What's up, guys? My name is Chris. I'm an entrepreneur in Sarasota. This year, I'm sitting down with business owners to learn all about their journeys, their triumphs, their struggles, and everything they've learned along the way. Today, I'm talking with DeAnna King of King HR Services. A few years ago, she was passed up for a couple of jobs that she deserved, so she decided to bet on herself. This is Stir. So we're here today with DeAnna King, and thank you for joining us today. I appreciate the time.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, DeAnna, who are you?
Well, I'm a mom.
Okay.
I am an HR guru.
Okay.
And I love to read. I love to cook. And along with helping small to medium-sized businesses handle their operations management.
Beautiful, beautiful. So how long have you been in business?
I've been in business for 5 years.
Okay. 5 years. I'm sure that you know, like all business owners, you've learned a lot along the way. Tell me about the beginning. What made you get into this business specifically?
Well, in the beginning, I'll just give you a little bit of background. So prior to my business, I was working at Paychex. I was a payroll specialist, and then I was a tax specialist for probably about 6 years. And then I started working at the school district of Manatee County, and I was the allocation specialist. So I allocated all the positions in the district.
Okay.
And I was leaning towards more so HR, because in that role, I worked with all the departments: finance, HR, budget, grants, Title I.
Okay.
So the district paid for my SHRM certification. And from there, I applied to different roles that I did not get.
Okay.
So, I was just like, I can really do this on my own. I saw a lot of businesses struggle with compliance.
Okay.
Because I also have my master's in business management. So I understand how operations management is supposed to work and how it's like the lifeline of
how it's supposed
your
to work.
company. Yeah, how it's supposed to work.
That's right. Yeah.
So I was like, I can do this. And I was like, initially, I was just going to do HR, where I just specialize in handbooks and job descriptions, making sure that it has all of the proper legal language.
Sure.
And so my first client was actually my hairdresser.
Okay.
I used to go and get my hair done, and I just was telling her, like, I'm going to start this company, and this is what I'm going to do, and and she's like, well, can I be your first client?
I need all of those things.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. She was moving to a bigger salon. She was moving up, and she wanted to contract out her suites. And so I helped her with the contracts. I did the handbooks. And during that time, I attended business classes. They had community business classes. So I met other young minority women who were also starting a business. Mm-hmm. So after that class, they were like, well, we need payroll, we need HR.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because they starting business.
Yeah. So the rest is history. I
loved it.
Yeah, it just started to.
So you just bet on yourself and started consuming as much other information as you could.
Yeah. So during that time, like I said, I joined professional groups, professional HR groups. I networked. I went to all of these different events. I joined the Manatee Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I did a lot of networking. I built relationships. As an entrepreneur, it's important to build relationships.
100%.
They're very important.
Yeah.
And a lot of business that I have now is word of mouth, or people that I met and they were like, oh, well, I can refer you to so-and-so and things like
somebody.
that. Yep.
Yeah. That's the name of the game. It's all about the relationships that you build along the way.
Absolutely.
Even when you become a larger brand, people still do business with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even when you're a larger brand, if somebody likes you, they're going to be more apt to listening to what you have to say or refer you to their friend because they trust you because of that relationship. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 years ago, you're betting on yourself. You're going to open this business.
Yeah.
Tell me about that first month.
It was scary because I was still working my regular job.
Oh, so you're doing both of them?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
And my son was like 3 or 4 years old.
So you got 3 jobs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to juggle the day-to-day with my regular job. And like, so when I went on my lunch break, I went over to see my client. Or in the evening times when my son went to sleep, I was doing work, or I was writing my goals. Like, okay, by the second quarter, I want to have a Facebook page, a business Facebook page, or a website. Or I wanted to have an ebook by the next year.
Okay.
So during that first month, I was writing my goals, but I was trying to prioritize my time too.
Sure.
And my son was in sports. So he was out on the baseball field and I was on the phone trying to work.
Trying to work, because you got a free minute.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the business owners who start that way are more successful. I guess I'm jaded or whatever, because I started that way. Like, I ran this business, it was just me, and worked a job, on the side or whatever. I feel like you just have that, there's more fire in the tank than,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you've proven it to yourself that you
You can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So along the way, 5 years, if you could look at one thing that was a hurdle that, a lot of times when we do these interviews, or anytime we talk to entrepreneurs, we don't know what we don't know, right?
Right.
So is there anything that you can look back on during this 5 years and say, that hurdle that I had to overcome was just a doozy? Like, what do you think that big hurdle might have been?
I would say understanding capital, more so like business credit, like I do now.
Right.
So I'm like, if I was able to understand how to utilize or know about business credit, then I think that I probably wouldn't have had to make so many sacrifices.
Okay.
But at that time, I had no idea about business credit or how to utilize it, or that it's different than your personal credit.
Very.
You build it and it's not aligned with your personal.
No.
Didn't really understand about like business, the banks and their business products that they have. I had a business checking account, but I mean that was really.
And they don't necessarily come out and just tell you that they have all
they
the
do
other
not.
things. Yeah, all these other opportunities. So with that in mind, like how did you educate yourself on like business credit and capital and things like that?
Well, I got a mentor.
Okay.
And so we just talked about different things. And so she really introduced me to the basics of business credit. And then I just, being the person I am, I do a lot of research. So I did my research, built a couple of relationships like with bankers and things of that nature, from just going out to different events or, having those accounts. And I just was able to, build it up
Slowly
and
build
really,
it up.
and utilize it.
Nice.
And then, I've been, even my clients or people that I meet, I always tell them, aspiring entrepreneurs, about just the basics of business credit. I always tell them, do your research on your own, gain as much knowledge as possible. But I always say,
You always mention it.
Yeah,
Put
absolutely.
that bug in the ear.
Yeah.
So 5 years, you've had obviously some success, because we're filming this in May, but next month when this video comes out, you're up for Small Business of the Year at the Sarasota Chamber. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
In this short amount of time, like, what do you think, like, how do you measure success for your business? Like, what's success look like for DeAnna?
Just the impact that I have on my community.
Okay.
When I'm able to see like my clients be successful, like I have a client who started out with one company and just me like helping them understand operations management with HR and payroll. Now they have 4 companies.
Really?
Yes.
How long they been your client?
They've been my client for almost 2 years.
That's quick.
Yeah.
That's quick turnaround. Okay.
Yeah. So, or just like I said, the impact that I have on the community, me being able to help aspiring entrepreneurs, learning about just the basics of business and the importance of compliance. Recently, I've partnered with Career Source in Sarasota.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
So I'm going to be working with youth, I guess between the ages of like 14 and 18, and they'll be able to come and work for my company for the summer.
Oh,
they'll
a
get
little
paid.
internship.
Yeah, they'll get paid. And even if they're not interested in HR or payroll, it'll just give them the opportunity to see like behind the scenes, because mostly everyone thinks that, oh, I make money and that's what I do for my business. I just make a lot of money and post on social media.
Right, that's what they see.
Yeah. So, but that's not reality.
Right.
So they'll be able to get like the behind the scenes, like what it's like for me to get my schedule together for the week, or when something doesn't go right, or a payroll isn't processed properly, or understanding capital. You know, you want to start that business, making sure that your personal credit is together, understanding business credit, just giving them like a heads up.
Yeah, because I mean, any industry that they go into, the things that they learn with you, they could take and parlay that into that. Okay. Now you also, I've heard you mention time and schedule and things like that a couple times, and they'll tell you I'm like a stickler on time, right? Time manager. So do you have any time management tips, some things that you always do that help keep you in line?
I would say once you start your business, like, you're solely just doing your business, because a lot of times people are working a job and they have the business. So, you know, when you work a job, it's already structured for you. It's either 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, and you take your lunch this time.
At a certain time, yeah.
So I had to change my mindset from an employee to a businesswoman, or, you know. So that was very difficult, because I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do? You know, like, so at first it was a little shaky. But I try to make my schedule for the week. So I have like this big board in my office, and I just try to write down like everything that I have to do for the week.
Okay, so you put it all out there. Like, these are everything I got to accomplish.
Yep, I put those things, my goals for the month. I have a notepad in my purse. I try to utilize my calendar on my phone. And that pretty much works, because there's so many things, so many moving parts.
So many moving parts.
And I forget. So
yeah, if it weren't for the calendar, even with the calendar sometimes, I could be in trouble. You know, for me, I had to, and it's more second nature now, right? Probably for you as well. But when I started out, I remember almost going through like a persona change. Yeah. On Sunday night, I'd plan my week like a business owner, like an employer, right? So I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna do this on this day, here's what I need to get done. But during the week, I treated myself like an employee, and the calendar was the boss. You know what I mean? So this says I gotta do this at this time. I guess I gotta do this at that time. You know, so I would tell my wife when we were dating, I would tell her all the time, like, I work for a real jerk. Like I gotta work late. You know what I mean? Like, but it was the only way to keep me in line until it became second nature. Yeah. Time is like, when you're an entrepreneur, it's the most valuable asset that you have.
It is.
You're at year 5 now.
Yeah.
You know, last question I'll leave you with is, what's the next 5 years look like? What are you trying to do by year 10?
By that time, I would actually like to have a brick and mortar.
Okay.
And I would want to be able to have like classes regularly for aspiring entrepreneurs, or just people in the community, just geared towards like business. So having workshops about starting your business, grants, business certifications, capital, because I've already have that rapport with a lot of different banks or attorneys, you know, bringing them in, having them talk to them for maybe like an hour or so. And just, you know, just maybe like doing that once a quarter or once a month.
Educating.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I wish, you probably do too, I wish there were things like that I could have jumped on when I started, you know? All right, well, wonderful. Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you real soon.
Absolutely.
DeAnna, the team at Aginto appreciates your time. We value your insight, and so we just have a little gift for your time today, being a guest on our show.
Is it cash? No, I'm just
ain't no cash.
I'm teasing. Oh, my favorite, even better. Starbucks? Chocolates?
Yes.
And wine.
And some bubbly. There you go.
Yes, thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Thank you for being a guest.